I want to introduce you to relationship first marketing because we're seeing a 10 to 30% response rate, which is so much higher than the 1% response rate you would get with traditional cold outreach campaigns. Now, some of these ideas are a little bit different because there's a different mindset behind relationship first marketing, which makes some of these concepts sort of slippery to get your hands on at first. But I can help you get your website dialed in and all your marketing when you join Blue Theory. But let's go through all 5 components right now so you can see how it works. And as we're going through these 5 components, make sure you keep your niche, your target market in mind so that we know exactly who you are talking to. Because if you don't know who you're talking to, you can't really do these 5 steps. Now, if you haven't picked a niche yet, that's totally fine. Just go ahead and download Local Market Gems. It's my free ebook, and you'll get over 30 examples of high-ticket web design niches and how to tap into those markets. So a link in the description, totally free. Here is how relationship first marketing works. So component number 1 is, what is it? Like, how does relationship first marketing differ from sales first marketing? So I work with a lot of web designers in Blue Theory. I also get a lot of emails from web designers who want me to be their client. And almost all of the marketing that I see falls into the sales first marketing category. And here's what it is, basically 3 components. The first thing is people will mention something technical that's wrong, some kind of technical problem with my website. The second component is, hey, I've got a technical service to fix the technical problem that I just mentioned. And then the third thing is, hey, give me a call, let's get started fixing this stuff. But it's like, there's no relationship. I don't know you, you don't know me. In fact, when I get these emails, like that first thing where they mention the technical problem, I was like, I know I don't have that technical. I built my website and I know I don't have that problem. So I immediately understand I just got spammed, basically. Like somebody blasted out a ton of emails and they're hoping that I'm going to call them, and then boom, sales first marketing. That's why the response rate is so low. But even if you're like a real actual web designer, you really care about your clients, when you follow this pattern, everybody's conditioned to believe that it's not legit. It's like, it's just spam. It's like nobody's going to respond to that. Whereas when you do relationship first marketing, I don't even talk about pricing or sales or packages or any of the other stuff that I might want to do for you until we have the relationship first. And that's the difference. It's like a fundamentally different mindset behind relationship first and sales first marketing. So that's kind of the general component number 1. And this has an implication which leads us to step number 2, which is the onboarding process is a 2-step process. What that means is I don't even talk about pricing or sales or anything that I could do on a paid service basis until after we have the relationship. So the implication is your website doesn't sell anything. So if you're wondering, should I put pricing on my website? Should I list all the different packages and services that I have? If you're doing relationship first marketing, the answer is no. You don't want to list that stuff first because that's sales first. It's like, I don't even want to offer things to people unless I feel 100% confident that I can actually help you with a real problem that you're going through. And how do I know that you have the problem that I can solve unless we have the relationship first? So all this other stuff is off the table until we have the relationship first. So that means we got to have a relationship. So how do you do that? So that brings us to step 3, which is value first serving. So value first serving is what we use to actually create the relationship in the first place. So how do you get the call? Because that's a challenging thing to do. It's like, how do you get people to call you? Where the way that we've been doing it that's been really successful is value first serving, where we offer something that we can do for free. Even if they don't hire you for anything else, it's still valuable. Right? So it's like the thing itself has to be valuable. So an example of something that's not valuable would be like a site audit or an SEO audit, or like a free consultation call or something like that. All of those things aren't really valuable because unless you hire me to fix the problems that we uncovered in that site audit, there's really no value to the call in the first place. It's like there's no takeaway, right? And so that's why people don't respond to that stuff. And so what we do is value first serving, where like I want to make sure that when we get on a call together, that at the end of the call, you take away something that you think is valuable that you got for free, even if you don't hire me to do anything else. And that's the idea behind value first serving, which leads us to the next thing. It's like, how do you do it? Like, what are some examples of things that you can do to fulfill this value first serving idea? And that's where we come up with this concept of lead magnet favors, right? So it's like something that you can do for somebody as a lead magnet for free. And some examples would be like, hey, let me help you set up your Yelp profile, or let me help you set up your Google business profile. Or maybe I noticed that as we're talking that you don't have a lead magnet on your website. You're not building an email list. So maybe I could help you build a quiz that people can fill out, stick their email address in for the results, and boom, now you're collecting email addresses. So like these are all things that you can do in less than an hour's time, maybe 30 minutes for free. Even if they don't hire to do anything else, the client will be better off because of those things. And when you offer those types of like lead magnet favors, you get a lot more calls than if you offer something that feels like a spammy, salesy, you got to hire me and pay me a lot of money even though you don't know me, kind of an outreach message. And I think that's one of the keys to this really high response rate that we're seeing with relationship first marketing, is you got to get the lead magnet favor thing going on. And so then that leads us to the fifth and final component, which is how do you know which lead magnet favors to offer? Because you don't want to get into a situation where you say, hey, let me help you optimize your Google business profile. You get on a call only to find out that the client doesn't have a business type that qualifies for a Google business profile. And now you feel embarrassed. It's like you feel silly. So if you don't have your target market dialed in, go ahead and download that Local Market Gems ebook so you can actually get 30 examples of high ticket niches and how to tap into them. And then you can know who your niche is, because it could be local businesses. And that might, maybe they could do a Google business profile, or maybe it's an e-commerce business where it's like checkout page optimization or something, or cart abandonment might be helpful. Or maybe it's an online only business, but not e-commerce, like coaches and consultants and stuff. So you got to know who you're talking to in order for all this stuff to work. But once you have that, and you want to get to the second component of the whole thing where you're like offering packages, check out this next video and I'll show you how Netflix inspired my six-figure web agency by adapting to the changes in technology, which is a huge thing we're going through right now with AI. So check out this next video and you'll see the difference between how Blockbuster and Netflix reacted to a change in technology, and how Blockbuster failed and Netflix rose to the top. And you can take those same concepts and implement them in your web design business. I think you'll find it crazy insightful. Check out this next video and I'll see you there next.